There are very few reasons to take Social Security early, but it's a question I get asked often from my clients, and it made me think of a few specific situations that I'm going to share with you today. Hey everyone, I'm Andrew. I'm the owner of Lever Wealth Management, which is the financial advisor for people who scare financial advisors. And what I do is I take the learnings from the thousands of iterations and discussions I've had with ultra high net worth and high net worth investors over the last several years, and I give them to you so that you can apply them to your own situation. The reason people say it's bad to claim Social Security early comes down to two reasons. The first is until age 65, if you have earnings over and above a certain threshold, which I'm going to list here, from 62 to 65, your Social Security benefit does get reduced. And so you get penalized for taking Social Security and then earning money on the side. And so that's typically one reason people try to avoid it. The other more prominent reason that people say it's bad to take Social Security early is the fact that if you defer your Social Security benefit, and there's an intricate formula that really doesn't matter for the sake of this video, you earn an additional 8% next year on your benefit. So each year you defer, your benefit is 8% higher. Now, that does not necessarily equate to a return, because even though you make more, you are dying with having taken less years of benefits, right? But your benefit increases for each year that you don't take it. If those are the reasons for it, then the reasons against it, the very first obvious one that you've already thought of is, what if I don't have a large life expectancy? What if I have a chronic condition and I only expect to live to 75? Well, if you take your Social Security at 62 versus 67, there's a break-even point, and usually it's around anywhere from 17 to 18 years, depending, and that's not factoring in the present value of money. That's just a crude break-even rate. But if you think 18-ish years, then it'd be around age 80. And so if, whether we like it or not, if the data is not on your side to make it into a longer life expectancy, then the odds could be skewed in your favor by taking Social Security earlier. Now, another reason that you may want to take Social Security a little early, and I've seen this with clients before, is where they have no other guaranteed forms of cash flow and they end up retiring into a bear market. And I had one client in particular who knew they wouldn't be able to get a job going into a recession. They retired, their account values go down. And so they ended up turning on Social Security to reduce the portfolio withdrawals. Okay. It acted as another form of fixed income, and they allowed the equities to recover. And then they rebalanced the portfolio over time to get to the right equity to fixed income ratio, because really at the end of the day, Social Security is a government-backed fixed income instrument. Now, that being said, the trouble is once you turn it on, you can't turn it off. Now, a way to get around that is if you have a spouse, maybe only one spouse turns it on. Obviously, it's all situation dependent, but I have seen that before as a way to take pressure off the portfolio in weighing the options and saying, you know what, it is worth it for the longevity of my investments to go ahead and take Social Security now. The final reason that you probably wouldn't expect, but I've recommended this to several people, is if you have a very high net worth, you have also paid into Social Security, and there is the fact that Social Security is underfunded. And, they can play with tax rates and they can play with the wage base and they can fix it. But we as humans have a tendency to not fix things until we have to have them fixed. And if they have to make changes to Social Security, who do you think they're going to make those changes for? The person who has $20 million or the person who has $200,000? And this is not me trying to make a moral argument one way or the other, but I have recommended with some of my ultra high net worth clients of, hey, we don't know what legislation is going to be in the future. An 8% increase of your Social Security benefit does nothing for your retirement anyways. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And that way we know we have locked it in. Because if they do reduce Social Security benefits for those who have not already claimed it, that could be a real issue for people who are in the higher net worth ranges. And Is there a way or a chance they could reduce benefits anyways? Of course, but there is precedent with tax laws that once you have elected something that's current law, they will grandfather you and take the next person into that new tax law, right? They did it with depreciation, they've done it with qualified opportunity zones, and they would most likely do it to an extent with Social Security as well. And so for some of my ultra high net worth clients over the years, I've said, hey, you're 64, you just sold your business, you don't need Social Security, but let's go ahead and take it. I've actually gotten a very positive response from people on that one because they are scared that they will have paid into this for decades and actually end up seeing very little to no benefit. So that's maybe a little bit of a different use case, but I would say it's part of a broader truth that I have found with retirees in general, which is, Andrew, I understand I have a little extra money if I defer my Social Security benefit, but you remember those commercials? It's my money and I need it now. A little bit of that. It's my money. I've paid it in. I want to go ahead and turn on the income stream. And what I say to that, if your retirement plan is okay with you turning on Social Security a little earlier, and we understand the trade-offs, such as it's based on provisional income. Can we still do IRA distributions and conversions to Roths? Is it affecting your health insurance? There are all of these other items it affects. But if we understand the trade-offs and you still lean towards, yeah, I would like to go ahead and take my Social Security benefit, there is nothing wrong with that. The prevailing wisdom that I hear from many financial advisors is always defer it to 70. And that is a mathematical truth that you're better off. But who cares about the marginal dollar at age 89 that you're going to get if you're going to enjoy the dollar at age 70 much more? So I hope that's helpful. If I've missed something, go to leverwealthmanagement.com/ask to ask me your individual questions. And until next time, thanks everyone.